First contact and derision. The message arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning at SETI's primary listening post in New Mexico. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at her monitor, heart racing, as she verified the signal for the fourth time. After centuries of searching the stars, humanity had finally received their answer. They were not alone. Within hours, the world's leaders gathered in an emergency session at the UN. The signal contained more than just proof of alien life. It carried instructions for faster-than-light communication. Humanity had been invited to join the galactic community, but no one could have predicted the reception that awaited them. 6 months later, Sarah stood aboard the ESS Endeavour, Earth's first faster-than-light capable vessel, as it approached the designated meeting point with the Kraxan Empire's diplomatic fleet. The ship's captain, James Rodriguez, maintained a steady hand on the helm despite the tension that filled the bridge. "Multiple contacts emerging from FTL," announced the sensor officer. "Configuration matches the provided specifications for Kraxan vessels." The alien ships that appeared were nothing short of magnificent, sleek crystalline structures that seemed to bend light around them. The Endeavour's crew watched in awe as the massive vessels took up formation around their comparatively tiny ship. The first transmission from the Kraxan arrived moments later. "Greetings, primitive vessel. This is High Commander Vexthor of the Kraxan Empire. Your presence has been acknowledged. Prepare for inspection." Captain Rodriguez exchanged glances with Sarah before responding. "High Commander, we come in peace as representatives of Earth. We're honored to." "Save your formalities," interrupted Vexthor. "Your species' achievement of basic faster-than-light travel, while quaint, hardly warrants ceremony. We shall determine if you pose any threat to galactic stability." Sarah felt her cheeks burn at the dismissive tone, but she held her tongue. As Earth's leading quantum physicist, she knew humanity had more to offer than the Kraxan suspected. The inspection team that boarded the Endeavour made little effort to hide their disdain, treating human technology as if it were little more than children's toys. "Remarkable," commented one Kraxan inspector, his crystalline form shifting in what Sarah interpreted as amusement. They still used physical interfaces for their computers. How charmingly obsolete. The inspection lasted 3 hours, during which the Kraxan documented every aspect of human technology, with barely concealed contempt. As they prepared to depart, High Commander Vexthor delivered their assessment via hologram. "Your species will be granted limited access to approved trade routes and colonies. You will be restricted to designated sectors and must submit to regular inspections. This is for your own protection, of course. The galaxy can be overwhelming for primitive species." After the Kraxan fleet departed, Captain Rodriguez turned to Sarah. "Doctor, please tell me that project you've been working on back home is progressing well. I don't think I can stomach many more of these diplomatic encounters." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. "Actually, Captain, we had a breakthrough just before I left Earth. The quantum phasing experiments. They're working. We're closer than anyone suspects to something that will change everything." As the Endeavour began its journey home, Sarah's mind raced with possibilities. The Kraxan Empire had dismissed humanity as primitive, but they had no idea what humans were capable of when pushed into a corner. In her secure lab back on Earth, a technology was taking shape that would force the galaxy to reevaluate their assumptions about humanity. The Kraxans' dismissal of human potential would prove to be their greatest mistake. Continued in subsequent parts. The Silent Project. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Sarah Chen stood before a semicircle of Earth's most influential leaders. The quantum phasing chamber behind her hummed with potential as she prepared to demonstrate humanity's response to the Kraxan Empire's condescension. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, "what you're about to see is the culmination of Project Phoenix. While the Kraxan Empire believes we're struggling with basic FTL travel, we've been developing something far more revolutionary." The chamber activated, its walls shimmering with an otherworldly energy. A test probe disappeared from its platform and instantly reappeared across the room. No movement, No transition. Simply there, and then here. The assembled leaders gasped. Quantum phasing, Sarah explained. True teleportation through quantum space. No FTL drive, no conventional movement at all. Just instant transition from one point to another, regardless of distance. Admiral Helena Santos, head of Earth's Defense Force, leaned forward. Dr. Chen, are you telling us we can teleport entire ships? Better, Sarah replied. We can teleport fleets. The quantum field can encompass multiple vessels simultaneously. While the Kraxan waste resources patrolling their precious trade routes, we'll be able to move anywhere in the galaxy instantly. The implications weren't lost on anyone in the room. For 6 months, humanity had endured the Kraxan Empire's guidance, restricted trade routes, limited colonial expansion, and constant surveillance of Earth's technology development. Each inspection brought new humiliations as the crystalline beings made no effort to hide their contempt for human achievement. President Marcus Chin, no relation to Sarah, stood up. How long until we can implement this on a military scale? 3 months for the first wave of ships, Sarah answered. We've already modified the ESS Prometheus as our prototype. Captain Rodriguez has been secretly training a crew in quantum phasing operations. The mention of Rodriguez brought a slight smile to several faces. The captain had become something of a folk hero after standing up to a particularly condescending Kraxan inspector who had attempted to confiscate dangerous human AI technology, which had actually been a relatively simple chess program. But the levity was short-lived. New reports arrived daily of Kraxan overreach. The latest incident involved their ships escorting human colonies away from restricted systems that had been previously approved for human settlement. The Kraxan are pushing harder, Admiral Santos observed. Their last diplomatic communication suggested they're considering establishing a permanent advisory presence in Earth orbit. For our protection, of course. They're scared, Sarah said. Not of what we are, but of what we might become. Their entire empire is built on technological superiority. The thought of a primitive species advancing too quickly terrifies them. The next few weeks saw Project Phoenix accelerate beyond even Sarah's optimistic predictions. Human ingenuity, driven by the desire to prove their worth, accomplished in days what might normally have taken months. The quantum phasing technology was refined, miniaturized, and hardened against potential countermeasures. The ESS Prometheus, hidden in a secret dock beneath the lunar surface, became humanity's proof of concept. Captain Rodriguez and his hand-picked crew ran countless simulations, perfecting the art of quantum combat maneuvers that would have made traditional tacticians dizzy. Sarah worked alongside them, fine-tuning the quantum field generators and discovering new applications for the technology. They learned that smaller fields could be generated around individual crew members, allowing for instant boarding actions. The tactical implications were staggering. But their time was running out. The Kraxan Empire's patience with humanity's disruptive influence on galactic order was wearing thin. Their ships began appearing in greater numbers around Earth's colonies, their presence less protective and more threatening with each passing day. The breaking point came when a Kraxan patrol destroyed an unauthorized human mining operation in the Kuiper Belt, an operation that had been there since before first contact. Their message was clear: stay within your assigned bounds, or face the consequences. As Sarah watched the footage of the destruction, she felt a cold anger replace her frustration. The Kraxan had dismissed humanity as primitive, treating them like children playing with dangerous toys. Soon they would learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology. It was their determination to prove everyone wrong. The quantum phasing technology was ready. The ships were prepared. All that remained was for humanity to decide when to show the galaxy exactly what this primitive species could do. Breaking point. The Kraxan ultimatum arrived on a Wednesday. High Commander Vexthor's crystalline form towered over the holographic projector in the UN Security Council chamber, his voice resonating with artificial patience. Humanity has demonstrated an unfortunate inability to accept guidance, he declared. Therefore, the Empire has decided to assume direct control of Earth's spacefaring operations. All human vessels will submit to Kraxan command crews. All colonial operations will be supervised by Imperial overseers. This is not a request. President Chen's response was diplomatic but firm. High Commander, while we appreciate the Empire's concern, Earth must decline. Our sovereignty is not negotiable. Sovereignty? Vexthor's crystalline form shimmered with what might have been amusement. You mistake tolerance for recognition, human. Your species has yet to earn the right to sovereignty. You have 24 hours to comply, or we will be forced to demonstrate why the Empire's authority is absolute. As the transmission ended, the chamber erupted in heated debate. Admiral Santos immediately pulled up tactical displays showing Kraxan fleet movements. They're not bluffing. Multiple battle groups are converging on our colonial systems. 3 carrier groups are on course for Earth. Sarah Chen, who had been quietly running calculations on her quantum pad, spoke up. The Prometheus is ready. So are the first 6 ships of the Phoenix fleet. If we're going to act, it needs to be now. President Chen surveyed the room. The moment we reveal the quantum phasing technology, there's no going back. The Kraxan will see it as proof that we're too dangerous to be allowed to develop independently. With respect, Mr. President, Captain Rodriguez interjected via hologram from the Prometheus. They already believe that. The only difference is right now they think they can stop us easily. I say we show them exactly how wrong they are. The next 18 hours were a blur of activity. While the world's governments publicly debated the Kraxan ultimatum, the Phoenix fleet made final preparations in their lunar hiding place. Sarah worked frantically to upload the latest quantum field calculations to all 7 ships. The Kraxan, true to their word, began their show of force. Their ships appeared in high orbit. Energy weapons charge, broadcasting demands for immediate compliance. Their sensors, advanced as they were, failed to detect the quantum signatures building beneath the lunar surface. All Phoenix ships report ready, Rodriguez announced from the Prometheus's bridge. Quantum fields are stable. Jump coordinates are locked. Sarah Chen took her place at the quantum control station. This was the moment that would change everything. Humanity's response to those who thought them primitive and weak. Execute primary attack pattern. Admiral Santos ordered. Show them what humanity can do. The quantum fields activated, and 7 ships of the Phoenix fleet simply ceased to exist in lunar orbit. They reappeared simultaneously at 7 different points around the Kraxan fleet, their weapons already firing. The crystalline ships, caught completely off guard, had no time to raise their shields. Multiple direct hits, Rodriguez reported, his voice tight with concentration. They're trying to coordinate a response, executing secondary jump pattern now. Before the Kraxan vessels could track their attackers, the human ships vanished again, reappearing at new attack positions. It was like nothing the galaxy had ever seen. Ships appearing and disappearing faster than targeting computers could track, striking from impossible angles, ignoring the fundamental rules of space combat. High Commander Vexthor's voice crackled across all frequencies, his usual composure shattered. What is this? What have you primitive savages done? We've done what humanity always does, Sarah replied, allowing herself a small smile. We've evolved. The battle for Earth had begun, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Phoenix rises. The next 30 minutes rewrote the rules of space warfare. The Phoenix fleet's quantum phasing technology made conventional tactics obsolete. Kraxan ships, despite their superior firepower and defenses, couldn't hit what they couldn't predict. Captain Rodriguez orchestrated the battle like a conductor leading a symphony of chaos. The Prometheus would appear port side of a Kraxan cruiser, fire a devastating broadside, then vanish before return fire could be targeted. Seconds later, the entire fleet would materialize in a perfect sphere around an enemy battle group, unleash a coordinated barrage, and disappear again. From her station aboard the Prometheus, Sarah monitored the quantum fields with growing confidence. The Kraxan shields can't adapt to our attack patterns. Their defensive systems are designed to stop things from moving through space. We're bypassing space altogether. Multiple Kraxan ships are powering down weapons, reported the tactical officer. They're requesting communication. High Commander Vexthor's image appeared once more, but the usual contempt in his crystalline features had been replaced by something new. Respect, tinged with fear. How? How did you achieve this level of technology without us detecting it? You saw what you expected to see, Rodriguez answered. Primitive humans, playing with basic technology, needing your guidance and control. You never wondered what we might achieve if we put our minds to it. You realize this changes everything, Vexthor said. The Empire cannot allow such power to remain unchecked. With respect, High Commander, President Chen cut in, his hologram appearing alongside Vexthor's. You no longer have a choice, but neither do we intend to abuse this advantage. Humanity doesn't seek dominion, we seek equality. The next few hours saw frantic diplomatic exchanges at the highest levels. The Kraxan Empire, faced with the first serious challenge to their technological supremacy in centuries, was forced to reevaluate their entire approach to primitive species. Sarah watched from the Prometheus as the Kraxan fleet withdrew to a respectful distance. Her quantum phasing technology had done more than win a battle. It had fundamentally shifted the balance of power in the galaxy. But as she studied the readings from the quantum field generators, she realized this was just the beginning. Dr. Chen, one of her assistants, called out, "You need to see this. The quantum fields, they're showing patterns we haven't seen before. I think the technology is evolving." Sarah examined the data and felt a familiar thrill of discovery. The quantum phasing technology wasn't just a means of transportation. It was opening up new understandings of space, time, and reality itself. Humanity hadn't just caught up to the Kraxan Empire. They'd stumbled upon something that would take them far beyond. As the diplomatic talks continued, Earth's scientific community began to realize the full implications of their breakthrough. Quantum phasing was more than a weapon or a transportation system. It was a key to understanding the fundamental nature of the universe. We need to approach this carefully, Sarah advised the emergency session of Earth's Scientific Council. What we've discovered here could reshape civilization itself. Not just human civilization, all civilization. The Kraxan Empire, to their credit, recognized the shifting winds. Within days, their diplomatic corps had drafted a new proposal, not an ultimatum, but an offer of genuine partnership. They had finally learned what humanity had known all along. True strength lies not in domination, but in the ability to adapt and grow. A new dawn. 1 year after the Battle of Earth, Sarah Chen stood before the newly formed Galactic Scientific Council. The chamber, located in a space station at the neutral meeting point between Earth and Kraxan space, represented everything humanity had fought to achieve. Not dominance, but partnership. The quantum phasing technology has opened doors we never imagined, Sarah explained to the assembled representatives of 12 space-faring species. What began as a means of transportation has revealed fundamental truths about the structure of space-time itself. The Kraxan delegation, led by their chief scientist Valthor, Vexthor's younger sibling, ironically, nodded in agreement. Over the past year, joint human Kraxan research teams had made breakthrough after breakthrough. The combination of Kraxan's centuries of scientific knowledge with humanity's innovative thinking had proven unstoppable. Our latest experiments suggest quantum phasing could be adapted for faster-than-light communication. Valthor added, their crystalline form glowing with excitement. Instant communication across any distance without relays or networks. The implications for galactic civilization are enormous. Captain Rodriguez, now Admiral Rodriguez, smiled from his seat in the military observers section. The Phoenix fleet had grown to 30 ships, but they were no longer weapons of war. Instead, they served as rapid response vessels, providing emergency aid and scientific support throughout known space. We were wrong about humanity, Valthor admitted during a private moment after the session. We saw your rapid advancement as a threat because we had forgotten our own past. The Kraxan Empire became so focused on maintaining our position that we stopped pushing boundaries. Sarah understood. The past year had taught both species valuable lessons. Humanity had proven that determination and ingenuity could overcome any obstacle, while the Kraxan had rediscovered their own innovative spirit. The changes rippled throughout galactic society. Other primitive species, long held back by the Kraxan Empire's restrictive policies, were now encouraged to develop at their own pace. The Empire itself was transforming from a domineering force into a mentor and partner to emerging civilizations. President Chen, addressing the UN General Assembly back on Earth, summed up the transformation. We didn't just prove humanity's worth to the galaxy. We showed that true advancement comes not from hoarding knowledge and power, but from sharing it. The quantum phasing technology forced open the door, but it was our humanity, our willingness to extend a hand, even to those who once dismissed us, that truly changed the galaxy. The Prometheus, humanity's first quantum phasing ship, was converted into a museum and research vessel. Its quantum core now powered experiments that pushed the boundaries of science and understanding. Captain Rodriguez had insisted on keeping the original crew photos on display, a reminder of the days when humanity had to prove itself. Sarah often visited the ship, running her hand along the quantum field generator she had helped design. The technology had evolved far beyond her original vision, but the principle remained the same. There are no true limits, only challenges waiting to be overcome. Dr. Chen, a young Kraxan scientist, approached her during one such visit. The latest quantum field tests show something remarkable. We think we've detected traces of, well, other dimensions. Layers of reality we never knew existed. Sarah smiled. The galaxy had thought humanity primitive, incapable of greatness. They had learned that greatness doesn't come from age or established power. It comes from the drive to explore, to question, and to reach beyond what others think possible. As she looked out the viewport at Earth shining below, Sarah thought about how far they had come. Humanity had entered the galactic stage as dismissed primitives and emerged as respected pioneers. But their greatest achievement wasn't the technology they had created or the battles they had won. It was the future they had helped build, a future where no species would be dismissed as primitive, where innovation and cooperation replaced domination and control. A future where humanity's greatest strengths, determination, adaptability, and the ability to imagine the impossible, had become a model for all civilizations. The quantum fields pulsed softly in the background, a reminder that every end is just another beginning. Humanity had proven itself to the galaxy, but their journey was far from over. There were still mysteries to solve, boundaries to push, and new frontiers to explore. And this time, they would explore them together. The end.